Hello everyone, this is teacher Sarah from Phuket Pals. Welcome to another GED RLA screencast. The topic of this lesson is author's purpose. If you find this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. It helps us help more people like you. Alright, so today's topic is fairly simple. It's very basic. This is just a refresher if you've forgotten what author's purpose is or what author's purposes are for writing their work. So let's begin with a vocabulary refresher. What is an author? The author is the creator or originator of any written work, such as a book or play, and is also considered a writer. And what is purpose? Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Why? The why. Why does it exist? Or why was something done? And then we put those two ideas together, or those two meanings together, author's purpose. Apostrophe S, which means the purpose of the author. An author's purpose is the reason an author decides to write about a specific topic. And there are three basic reasons why authors write. One of them is to entertain, to provide someone with amusement or enjoyment. However, I feel like this word or this explanation is quite limited and doesn't really fulfill or doesn't really explain entertainment, because to be entertained doesn't necessarily mean that you're in fits laughing. It could also mean that the author has the goal to make you cry, and that entertains you, because sometimes people just need a good cry and they look for movies that need to make them cry. Right? As crazy as that sounds, it happens. You gotta let all those feelings get out. Anyway, and if you're looking for a horror movie, that's because you want to be shocked and you want to be entertained by guessing who is the killer or who's gonna die next, or yelling at the person on the screen that the killer or the ghost is behind them, etc., etc. It could also be that the antagonist is doing his part or her part so well that they actually cause you to get angry at them. Then you're entertained, right? Anyway, the next is to persuade or to cause to believe something, or to make someone do or change their minds about a certain perspective of something. Next is to inform, to give knowledge to, or to tell, to share, to give someone some information, right? That's what to inform is about. Right. Now, there are examples of written works that you can kind of tell what they are or what they're meant to be based on what type of work they are. For example, usually encyclopedia entries, information articles, the word is in it, how-to articles, biographies, and other factual real-world examples are meant to inform or explain things. And then you've got editorials, which is, you've got editorials, opinion essays, and blogs, advertisements, and other works in which the author shares an opinion and tries to persuade readers to agree is meant to, well, persuade, right? Stories, novels, plays, essays, and literary works that engage the reader with qualities such as humor, suspense, and intriguing details. There you go, you've got humor, but it's not limited to only humor and making someone laugh. You've got suspense and other intriguing details, and that's meant to entertain. Poems, personal essays, journals, and other texts in which the author shares insights, emotions, and descriptions usually is meant to express thoughts or feelings, but I would count that towards to entertain. Like, you've got books, poems, you've got poems by Edgar Allan Poe, you've got poems by Shakespeare, and well, they're meant to entertain as well. You've got personal essays and journals and autobiographies. For example, Eat, Pray, Love. I'm pretty sure that was meant to entertain by expressing Elizabeth Gilbert's thoughts and feelings of the divorce that she went through, etc., etc., and others as well. Anyway, let's check on your knowledge. So a tip here is for you not just to read and understand what it looks like or what you think that the author's purpose is, but also look at the type of text that it is, right? So the first one is a story about a family trying to stick together and survive through the Great Depression in the Midwest in the 1930s. I'll give you a few seconds to figure that one out, as usual. Okay, so a story is meant to entertain, as we talked about earlier. And this is so it's a story. It could be fictional or non-fictional. Could be either. About a family trying to stick together and survive through the Great Depression in the Midwest in the 1930s. So I guess it's meant to have a little bit of suspense and yeah, make you try to want to figure out what happened to them and how they did it. A section in a history book describing the conditions and causes of the Great Depression in the Midwest in the 1930s. Right. So it basically has the same content. It has the same, well, not the same content, but the sentence here has the same content as the one before it. But it says here it's a section in a history book, which tells you that it's probably factual. Probably factual information. Then that would be meant to inform. An instructional booklet describing how to operate a smartphone. Right. So an instructional booklet, of course, is meant to inform you. It teaches you, and it's a booklet as well. An article where the author argues that an iPhone is better than an Android phone. There you go. Okay, so that would be, it could be a persuasive reason, purpose, or to persuade. It could also be to inform, because you don't necessarily have to buy the Android phone or the iPhone just because the author said it, but it is an article. It could give you some perspective on something, but it could be either of the two. A poem about why the iPhone is the greatest consumer electronic device ever made. Give you a few seconds there. Right, it's a poem. So basically, it's meant to entertain, even though it's actually also maybe trying to persuade you, so you could probably have both answers there. That's all right. I'm not checking. Right. The story of a young athlete who takes steroids and his life and future fall apart. If you guessed that that is meant to entertain, then you are correct, because it is a story. It could be fictional or non-fictional, but it is a story, and that's meant to entertain. A medical report describing the effects of steroids on the human body. If you thought that was meant to inform, then you are correct. It is a medical report because of the type of text. A speech written by a professional athlete listing the negative effects of steroids and urging young athletes to not use steroids. If you guessed that that's meant to persuade, you're right. It has the word urging here, which is what persuasion is meant to do, to urge you to change your mind about a perspective or information that you have already, or something that you thought differently, and try to make you believe something else or do something else. A booklet containing the school rules and the consequences for violating those rules. Obviously, that is meant to inform. A story written about a young boy who moves to a new school and is bullied, but he gains self-confidence by joining a sports team and learns to stand up for himself. Of course, that is meant to entertain. And let's give this last one a try. It's a little bit longer, which is most likely what you're going to have in the GED exam. Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park support a wide diversity of animal species, reflecting the range in elevation, climate, and habitat variety there. Over 260 native vertebrate species are in the parks. Numerous additional species may be present but have not been confirmed. Of the native vertebrates, 5 species are extirpated or extinct, and over 150 are rare or uncommon. There have been some studies of invertebrates in the area, but there is not enough information to know how many species occur specifically in the parks. Many of the park's caves contain invertebrates, some of which exist only in one cave and are known nowhere else in the world. In the foothills, where summers are hot and dry and winters are mild, plant life is largely chaparral on the lower slopes, with blue oak and California buckeye in the valleys and on higher slopes. A number of animals live in this area year-round. Some breed here, while others winter here. Local species include the gray fox, bobcat, striped and spotted skunks, black bear, wood rat, pocket gopher, white-footed mouse, California quail, scrub jay, lesser goldfinch, acorn woodpecker, gopher snake, California king snake, striped racer, western whiptail lizard, and the California newt. What was the author's purpose in writing this essay? Is it to entertain the reader? Is it to bore the reader? Quite possibly, if you're not into that. To persuade the reader, to inform the reader, or to humor the reader? Give you a few seconds to figure that out, but I'm sure you already have, just from the first few lines of the article, or the passage, or the text. Right. So that is meant to inform us about the park wildlife, or the wildlife residing in Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Right. So thank you very much for being here with me again today. Thank you for watching, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, the bell button below, to make sure that you get notifications when we upload new videos. And that's all from me, Teacher Sarah from Phuket Pals. Have a great day.